the early 2000s, there was a movement. A generation of car guys took affordable daily drivers and turned them into rolling expressions of who they were. Body kits, underglow, wild custom paint. But somewhere along the way, regulations, crackdowns, bad attitudes changed everything. The cars got faster, but they stopped being fun. So let's bring back a little of the golden era. Our K24 swap is done. It's finally time to make this Civic look the part.
One big thing that's been on my list of cosmetic modifications has been to get rid of these gold bronze wheels. They're not me. They're better than having a stock wheel or something like that, but I think we need a color change, and I'm gonna get this thing up in the air. I'm gonna pull those wheels. My lovely wife is gonna prep those while I'm at work, and then we are gonna get them sprayed. And I think I got something special in mind. They're gonna pop. You know you're in a nice neighborhood when there's a 98 Civic on blocks. Look at this. My lovely wife not only sands them, masked up, tight too, with that line tape. That right there is the result of her spending 20-ish years in the garage with me. We are going to get ready to paint. Although we are going to paint the car itself in a paint booth, we're going to do a lot of this other stuff we can here at home. I imagine most of you guys don't have access to a paint booth, so here's just to show you it can be done. I don't really want to have to keep hauling my car back and forth to a place for things that don't necessarily need it. But when I spend like 2 to 3 days of airbrushing, I need the booth then. But like I showed you, my wife got these front sides and back sides of the wheel, so I'm just going to throw some paper over the tire tread. We're going to wipe these things down and get them up on a table. We'll spray them with the Limelight epoxy as a sealer because we got a lot of raw aluminum here, and then we will put on base coat and clear coat and get these things looking proper. The larger nicks, like this one with the protruding spot, some stuff like that, and these deep scratches, we are going to hit with the sander quick. That way the epoxy will fill them in, and these things will look good. Products we're going to be using to start off the wheels is this 1-to-1 black epoxy primer sealer. Black isn't necessarily the ideal color for the white wheels, but when I purchased this I was thinking areas to cover up bare metal on the Civic paint job, and because the Civic color is going to be using a black base coat with a chameleon top coat over it, but this is going to be a perfect product to use on the wheels because it'll seal off that bare aluminum and give us a good strong coating for our base and clear to stick to that's going to last a long time. Alright, that turned out really nice. The finish on the epoxy is actually really good. It covers well because it's thick, but it also lays down pretty smooth. This is going to look really good with the gloss white over it. And what's more gratifying than mixing the correct amount of paint and not really having any waste? So we're going to let that harden up and we're going to get some base coat and clear coat ready. Recoat time on the epoxy is 30 to 60 minutes. We are in Florida and it's hot, so I imagine it's going to go pretty quick. That being said, let's get the base coat ready, let's get the gun clean, and we will be ready to put the next coat on. Along with painting the wheels, another thing we've been talking about doing on the channel, and it's time to do it, is building a window for the hood. Now I'm going to thermoform it to fit the hole and actually bubble up and have some shape to it, not just a flat piece of acrylic. So let's just jump right into that.
I placed the acrylic in the oven to preheat and get nice and soft, and then I pressed it over a form with all my body weight to try to get it to take shape to the window on the hood. I did it this first time and blocked the camera with my head a lot, and it wasn't quite enough, so I got it even hotter, and did it one more time for good measure.
For base coat, we are going to be using Limeline's white base coat. It is a 1-to-1 with urethane reducer, and it feels pretty thick, so I imagine it's going to cover really well. Generally, white is a large pigment, so it covers most colors actually really well. We're going to see how it does on the black, but I imagine it'll just be a few coats. We're going to do light coats to keep it nice and even, cover the inside, cover the outside. We'll do that on all the wheels, then we'll come back through, do one drop coat, which isn't really necessarily in a solid color, but it's just a habit of mine, and I want it to lay out really nice. We'll let that flash off, and then it's clear coat time.
Covering up the black was actually really easy. I only had to use 2 coats and a drop coat to get good coverage.
With the base coat on, I am super excited with how bright of a white this Limeline paint is. Like the Duplicolor cheap white that I used on when we did the Tundra paint job, it's kind of a yellowy white, not really like a pure white like this is. And I gotta say, it pops, and it's totally gonna give me that like 90s, early 2000s import vibe. There was a lot of white wheels, there was a lot of chrome wheels, but you really want that loud, bright, standout color on your wheel. And as simple as a white seems, it really pops on a car. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna mix up some clear coat. When this base coat has all flashed off really good, we're gonna put this Limeline High Solids Glamour clear coat on, and we are gonna get these things shining. But I can't wait to see the window on the hood. No, it's kind of hard to see.
Is this camera on?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh, nah, I ain't seen nothing.
But there's definitely some shape there. So for the time being, because the hood is not primered or painted yet, I'm just going to double-sided stick tape this in. I'm going to just quick verify that it has clearance, and then yeah, let's get this thing up there. I mean, come on. The window's so much better than a hole in the hood. Just hope that the Florida heat doesn't make that double-sided tape come loose.
That rug really tied the room together, did it not?
Hey.
I'm not sure who installed this front lip or what they had against doing it right, but we got like a sheet metal building screw there with a rubber washer, a drywall screw, a sheet metal screw, drywall screw, sheet metal screw, drywall screw. Look at that fitment. Oh, it's installed really well when you can just... Oh, we got one good screw. Picked up a Mugen lip for the car, so this is going to match all the other Mugen accessories we got for it. Plus, it's a little bit more aggressive, hard to see right now.
I ain't seen nothing. Matter of fact, I'm blind in my left eye.
You'll see when it's on the car. I'm going to put this thing on the correct way, not with drywall screws, not with sheet metal screws. I'm going to use the hardware that came with it and two-sided tape that goes just on the center under the grill to keep that area from moving. And then there's a little bit of brackets that mount those holes to the bottom of the bumper. All right, that's actually hilarious. The head of the screw isn't actually taken out. It's supposed to be a Phillips. It's a Smoothips. Alright, I got my brackets installed. So this lip obviously hangs under the stock bumper a little bit, and then you can put a screw through there into the bumper to hold so this isn't a flippy flappy. Got my double-sided tape. We will go over to the car, peel that up, stick this into the grill, push it down nice, and then we will drill and screw the sides in. To install the lip, I centered it good on the car, got the sides lined up, and once it was in place, I pushed down on the double-sided tape firmly and got this thing to rest in place. Whoever installed the previous lip had it screwed in way up here, and it was the lower lip came up at an angle and it didn't line up with this at all. So what we want to do is try to keep this line going here and then get it drilled in and screwed. Screwing my front lip in.
Nice job.
Thanks. It's important. Helps alignments. That looks so good. The lip sticks out farther, so it goes good with the front edge of the bumper. And I just like that it's more aggressive. Mugen lip, Mugen grill, Mugen oil cap, Mugen shift knob. Mugen. I know. Mugen grill? When did that happen? Let me show you. It's time we switch out the floppy, faded Honda grill out for something a little bit more interesting.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts...
In order for our Civic to be a proper Y2K style build, we need to do a major thing. Vented rear bumper. And in order to do that, we got to take this bumper off. And because Hondas are like big kid Legos, it was an easy job. All I needed was my dong, a Phillips bit, a 10 mil, and a flathead screwdriver. Alright, first thing we need to do is mark our center point on the bumper. Now, there is a nice centered tow hook groove, so we can come straight up from that. Honda Civic Precision. To cut the vent in the back bumper, I first just drilled a hole big enough to get my jigsaw blade in, and I went around it with my granddad's jigsaw from probably 40 years ago. And just like that, we've made our bumper very, very floppy. So now we need to get that back up there, drill it for the proper size bolts and nuts. We'll drill the whole thing, but because this is going to be coming apart for primer pretty soon here, we're probably only going to put in about half of them, just so we don't have so much work in and out. But it'll get it stiffened up, we'll get it back on the car.
God is working, never stop searching, never quite
this life's gonna either make
I've been wanting to do this for a little while, but I've been waiting for the conditions to be right. I want to drill hole saw holes in the front of this bumper, but I don't want it to clash with the grill. So now that I have the grill in place, I think it's a good time. And the nice thing about doing that is you get rid of the lumps for the license plate holes, and then you kind of get that K-swapped Civic, you know, vented front bumper look. So try to lay out a line here so we can make them all in the same positioning. And then I think I'll be drilling kind of under the sides of each slot. So just inside these lines and just inside these lines. I think that'll look like something. Yeah, let's do it. I actually think that looks awesome. The 5's a little different than I expected to do, but I think it looks the best. It kind of looks like each tooth of the Mugen grill comes down and touches onto it, and then they're really nice and evenly spaced. And we got rid of where the front license plate mounts, so it's just a smoother bumper with holes in it, I guess. But you know, save the tuners. Do something wacky. Put a window in your hood. Drill holes in your bumper. Let's go. One of the big Y2K style mods I want to do with the window on the hood is light the engine bay green, because then when we have green underglow, green engine bay lights, that window will be glowing green at night. I mean, how else are we going to save the tuners? Sure, it's on the website. 3/8 drill bit. We're going to use these LED eagle eye lights. They just slide in, nut on the back, come with a wire. We're going to put, I think, 3 or 4, or 4 at least in the engine bay, and then go from there. So, because the inside of the firewall is so hard to get at, I think I'm going to run one here and one across. That should light the engine pretty good, and then we'll see how bright that is and go from there. But I think it's a solid start. It should be shining light right at that valve cover and reflecting through the window on the hood. For the switch, I got this simple click-on stainless with a green lit ring, just so you know that you got your engine bay lights on. And somebody already had a switch right here, so we're just gonna wire that in right there. Should be pretty clean and simple. One thing I've always wanted to do but never felt I had the right car for, tire paint. So I got some sweet stencils made. Let's do it. I don't know if this is going great or horrible. I think it's going horrible. A little too wet. All right. How does Nakai do this with like outmasking anything? The RWB guy?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Baby, I love you all the way down. Get you right where you like it. I promise you like it. I swear, just relax and let me make that move. It's our secret, we'll keep it between me and you. Now, I've been waiting. Think I'm gonna make that move now. Baby, tell me if you like it. Tell me if you like it. Now, I've been waiting. Think I'm gonna make that move. Gonna make that move now. Baby, tell me how you like it. It's me and you.
I have got to tell you, that has been worth waiting the 20 plus years I've been thinking about doing it. The car is actually starting to be cool. When I started this whole K-swap thing, I wasn't actually even into the Honda. I was just kind of like, oh, this will be a good deal. I can kind of get this thing worth something. I can flip it. I wanted to work towards getting the 240SX like I used to drive. Had a lot of S13s back in the day. Kind of want to get back there, but it seems like the Honda is here to stay. I'm kind of falling in love.
Aww.
I mean, come on. So I bought this cheap $80-something eBay RBC intake manifold, and hilariously it came with a Skunk 2 tag on it, Skunk 2 product registration, and even Skunk 2 installation instructions. But the funniest part about this thing is if you actually read down, they're D-series intake manifold installation instructions, but it's nice because they just probably assume that most Americans are just going to throw that away. But the intake manifold looks great. I'm not upset at the fake logo. Wasn't expecting that, but some funny things are they forgot to tap out that hole. That normally that's for your idle air assist valve, but we were running a coolant temp sensor there. And then the casting leaves a little to be desired. There's still little flanges here on each one of them, and although inside of them the runners isn't too bad there, if you look down in there, there's some thick casting lines that I wouldn't want to break off and run through my engine, so I'm gonna have to take some memory cloth and such and get that all taken care of before I install it. Now, an old racer trick is to gasket match the manifold and the gasket, so that way where it flows out of the intake manifold, it doesn't have this void space in here where there's like the intake runner and then a drop off for the gasket and then going into the head. So what you do is you trace all this on and then you do a nice transition from the intake runner to the gasket setup. And then you hope that the head lines up pretty good. So I went around with a Sharpie and lined this up and traced all the lines, and then when you take that off, you just clean the edges up until the Sharpie line's gone. For our next trick, to just kind of even out these bores a little bit, we are going to take, I've just got a 1/2 inch rod here with a slot cut in the end of it, and just take some 80 grit emery cloth. I got this for like $10 on Amazon. You just put it in here, wrap it around a handful of times. Something like that. Make sure you get your direction right, so when you're running your drill, it keeps it on. here we have it. Gasket matched, cleaned up the edges. You don't want to go crazy far, so I left a little bit of the marking because you don't want the gasket to overhang the opening either. So I got a gasket match. You can see that the sandpaper cleaned all of the surfaces up, knocked down the casting lines. It's not like a port and polish, it's just a cleanup. And in the end here, cleaned all the casting lines up. No more overhangs. Blown out and ready to install. It was not in my plans today, but let's throw an intake manifold on. Hopefully we have everything we need. Alright, intake manifold is off, and before we jump on putting the other one, I just want to take a moment to acknowledge how nasty these intake runners are. Look at all that carbon buildup. It's no wonder this thing smoked every once in a while. It's just like thick oil from who knows how many miles. I mean, that's changed shape here. Before you throw this on, if you need a map sensor, they have a hole up here with even a threaded screw hole mounting, but this hole is threaded for a nipple. I actually had to ream it out a little bit to make it so the map sensor could go down in there and seal the O-ring. Something to look at before you do it. And then I'm going to throw the studs in for the fuel injection fuel rail also, and we're ready to throw this thing on. I also have to put the temp sensor in where the idle air assist valve goes, and per the usual, Hector's just cruising by as I'm working, I guess grabbing a snack. Saving me from weed whacking the edge of the driveway. But yeah, let's put some sealant on that, throw it in right there. Don't let my intake manifold distract you from the fact that Hector is running 3 Honda Civics with spoon engines, and he just ordered Motec systems. Hector, it's not how you stand by my car. This whole time I thought he was trying to go legit. It's how you race your car, Hector. And just like that, the RBC intake manifold is in. Looks pretty good. I gotta wipe it down. My hands got a little dirty, and left some smudges on it and the white valve cover. The only thing I need left to do is build a throttle cable bracket, because I lost mine. So have that to do and get this thing back on the road. I wanted to take the car out, get some awesome rollers, get some shots of it and some cool backdrops, but when I did the intake manifold, a couple of the injector seals got a little messed up. They're just older and brittle, probably still from 2005. So one of them was leaking. I'm not going to drive the car with leaking fuel injector. So here it sits, but we are going to be getting this thing ready for primer. In the next video, we're sanding the car down. We're getting it ready for primer. We're going to put some primer down, and then this thing can finally start looking good. We are going to drop some wild paint on it. Total Y2K show car style. I know that I don't have a wild body kit or anything like that, but when I was growing up in the early 2000s working on cars, we kind of went for that, you know, this look. This Civic's got awesome lines, so it's more about just like tuning the appearance to look how you want. And trust me, the paint is going to be loud enough that I don't need, you know, 8-inch lights in my bumper or Supra headlights on the front of the Civic. It's going to do the work. And the Chameleon's going to pop several days of airbrushing. It's going to be wild. And I think we need underglow on this thing still, so let's get to that. This is the last video for the Just a Little 4-cylinder shirt drawing. I'll pop it up right here again. We started it in 2 videos ago. You can get in it for free. You just have to live in the lower 48 in the United States. Drop a comment below. You're in the running. That's it. Free. Just make a comment. Sweet, Just a Little 4-cylinder shirt. K-powered Civic on the back. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button if this video has been any good for you. There's a lot to come and a lot of previous stuff to watch. Peace. You got some torque, huh?
Oh yeah. It's a lot of fun, ain't it?
See if we can put the gap on this thing anyways.